Okay. So today I'm going to repair my jump box here. This thing's been a workhorse, man. It's jumped so many of my cars and it's so good. But recently the plug inside broke, so the plastic, you know, the wall wart, some people like to call them, the body of it cracked and one of the pins flew off or broke off. Normally it would sit right in here, mounted on the back side with this doohickey, but as you can see, this one I bought off, I think it was eBay. It's not the same as the one that came out. I think I actually threw the old one away, so I can't show you that. But what I did here is I took this one and clipped the end off and soldered it to the connector that was on the original one, just for temporary use. And what I'm going to do to fix this is, since I really never liked using one of my extension cords to plug this in, because I always just seem to need them for something, what I'm going to do is take this piece that I bought probably off Amazon, cut this, mount this here, and it's got a nice cap, which is cool, and then with the other side of this pigtail here, I'm going to solder it back to this guy, so I can just plug this into the wall and then plug this into what will be the jump pack. Boom. And charge it. And whenever I need to charge it, I'll just have to use that. And that should be nice. I guess it's an extra thing to carry if you have to charge it somewhere else, but it should work for me. So to get started, I gotta take the back off. Since I've already had this apart, also take off your wedding rings and stuff while you're working on electronics. Well, let's see. Tools. You need a screwdriver to remove the back. I have a soldering iron that I was given as a gift because my old one broke. Should work fine if I don't break it. Some solder and some flux. And I have a tip cleaner that's just not at the ready at the moment. Anyway, let's start taking it apart. I'll find out if I got them all and go to take the back off, obviously, but just do it if I can. Okay. So I taped this all together so I wouldn't put strain on the wire, you know, when I'm going to use it and stuff like that. So this is all that's inside the thing. Not much to it. Actually, you can see this is all dented up, bashed up too, or maybe you can't, but I'm gonna put, I don't know which way this was. I don't think it really matters because I'm not gonna use it anymore, but I'm gonna reinstall it. I'm still paranoid about this. I'm gonna take my watch off too. I'm gonna just reinstall this because I don't want to throw it away, even though I don't need it, but I also don't want to store it anywhere, so if I just put it here, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I need to drink some water. Okay, so there's a positive right there. I'm trying not to short anything out. It's pretty nice they got protective covers on those parts anyway. Hopefully this doesn't come back to make things harder for me in the future, but alright. So this guy just pops off. It's a Molex connector, 2-pin, pretty common stuff. Here's the pigtail that I cut off of the original power supply. As you can see, this would have been where it would go into the body, and this is all the wires that were inside. I just keep them extra long just because I have more to work with that way. I want to see how long I want to make this. Okay. So if that's in like that, I mean, just cut it in half, whatever. There. Should be fine. Alright. Now that I know that part looks like it's going to fit, I want this piece. I'll just cut it right here. I'll put this aside for now. That'll go with the external plug. And get some of my wire strippers. I lost my better pair of wire strippers probably in one of my cars somewhere, so I got these. I've had these a while. They work okay for some things. You can adjust how much grip is on here. Oops. It's interesting. I should have scored it first. I mean, that'll work, but let's try to make it a little bit better. So those aren't ideal, but you know, do what you can with what you got. That's what it's all about, right? That's what we're doing mostly here. Alright, so now that I've got that, and I've got this, I need to strip these wires back. Oh yeah, check which ones are positive and negative first. So in this case, I know the one with the red line is the positive one. I don't know if that's showing up. I just happen to know that because I looked when I did it last time. Go. Okay, so I don't need a lot on here, so I'm going to tin these and then solder them all together. Alright, so there's a bunch of ways you can do this, obviously, and people that know better than I can show you the right way to do it. I'm just going to dip these in here. I should have fired up my soldering iron first. It's okay, that stuff won't go anywhere. Let's fire up the soldering iron. Wait for it to warm up. Alright, now that terribleness is over, I've heat shrink on all this stuff to help keep it all together, protected so it won't short out. Next thing I'm going to do is test to make sure I've done it correctly. So I should see 15 volts in a positive direction when I put my multimeter on here. On the end of this Molex, which is here. Actually, yeah, So DC, red wire, sorry, red stripe is this guy, black is this one, and we see 15 volts. 15.19 is what I'm showing, which is great. Which means this works, and it means I've done this correctly. So the next thing I want to do is mount this side, unplug everything before you do something stupid. Mount this guy in here. Put it in front. And how do I want to run it? Like this, maybe? Something like this ought to work. And plug this guy back in. Boom. Oh, that's cool. This is all loose. Huh. Well, whatever. So I'm gonna do some strain relief in here. Probably just some duct tape again. Maybe a little zip tie action. Got my bucket small zip ties. Let's use a bright one. I don't use these on cars for the most part unless they're junk cars. Just snug. I'm not gonna cinch it really or anything. I'm gonna tuck that in there, and then I think I'll use some tape. That should work. Don't need much, but I want to strain relief this somehow, and I'm choosing to do it like this. And take this side in. Actually, the zip tie tail's kind of holding it in place right there. Actually, the zip tie tail is kind of holding it in place right there. Maybe that's good. Okay. Whoop! Battery. So this guy, I'm just gonna mark and screw in. That thing came with screws. I gotta find them. So pause. All right. I'm gonna put this in this way. I already know there's nothing behind it. If you're not sure, always check, obviously. And I'm just gonna go for it right like this. Don't let your safety people at work, don't let them see you do that, obviously. Came with some screws, so I'll just screw it in. Where'd my screwdriver go? There it is. These are a little long, so actually maybe I don't care. There's nothing behind it, right? And theoretically, if you had to get in here, there's probably more things to worry about than just poking yourself with these, like, you know, getting electrocuted and stuff. I'm a little OCD, so I like making all the screws look the same. I say that, and then my soldering is garbage. There. Boom. That's cool. Now, what do we look like on the back? Yeah, see? There they are. Little screws. You know what? I'm not gonna clip that. No one's gonna see it. I don't know. Pretty sure it's working. That says 12.5. I mean, it should, right? So I think we're good. Anyway, the charging light came on in the front, and now I can just put the back on, and it's ready for service one more time. That's awesome. With my nice new connector in front. All right. Here it is. Working. I think I'll wrap this with electrical tape just to give it some extra strength. This button just... I had it apart. Should have checked the button. Whatever. I don't care. It's been that way for years, so. All right. That is how I fix my jump box. I hope someone at least found it useful, if not entertaining. And you can tell me all the things I did wrong, how I should do it better next time, so you don't screw it up the same way I did. You can do a better job. Please like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time I break something. Something I forgot to mention earlier. Focus. Just focus. Anyway, something I forgot to mention earlier is so the power supply I'm using here is 15 volt, 1 amp, 1000 milliamp, just off eBay. Seems to work just fine.